I don't know about y'all, but I've had me a day. Oh my Lord, the kind of day I've had. I really wish I wasn't going to work tomorrow. I'd open up a bottle of something. It's that bad. Okay, maybe not a bottle of something. More like a barrel, but that's neither here nor there. Hi, how you doing out there, everybody in internet land? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. Welcome once again to Chattin on the Porch, our now starting to be weekly routine of getting together during the week, talking about the news, seeing what's out there, seeing what everybody's saying. Glad y'all are here. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on Twitter. And I apologize for being a little bit late. I needed just a few minutes to pull myself together here because work was absolutely insane today. I didn't get home in the amount of time I normally otherwise would to put together the show. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this one. This one may get sketchy and scary. TBA over on Rumble says, we'll be here waiting with bells on. Well, TBA, that your wait is over. We is here. So tell your friends, tell your frenemies, tell your enemies, tell people who you might want to know, tell people you don't want to know, tell everybody for that matter. Come on in, let's sit down, let's talk on the porch for a little while. It has been absolutely crazy. Glad everybody's here. Gypsy, as always, darling, thank you for trying to help me laugh through this day. It's been a kind of a day. Anyway, send out your tweets, your Gettrs, your Gabs, your Truth Socials, wherever you're at on social media. And don't forget to smash that like button. Lord knows this channel needs all the help it can get. And it does help with the algorithm. So it's greatly appreciated by yours truly, your host. Oh, goodness, what a day, what a day, what a day. Woo! Lord. I tell you what, I kind of feel like, let me find it here, because this is just too funny. There was something I saw on Twitter the other day, and man, it just sums up exactly how I feel. So, for those of you out there, oh, Alma, hello. Howdy. Thank you. Glad you're here. And Ms. Leah is already here to start pouring the drinks. Make me a good one, dear. Make me a real good one. Oh, God, what a day. Yeah, it is Taco Tuesday. If I could think of the name of a drink that starts with a T, yeah, there you go. Glad to have you, U-Haul. I saw something the other day, and in light of the fact that yesterday was tax day, I thought, Tequila Tuesday. There you go. There's a good idea. There's a good one. Very good idea. As yesterday was National Tax Day or Confiscatory Day, or however you want to look at it, because I think the libertarians are absolutely right. I think taxation is theft. The older I get, the more I believe that. I found this on Twitter, and this is just too funny. Hope y'all enjoy this as much as I did. This runs about 30 seconds, and oh gosh, this thing's hysterical.
Oh my gosh. Where's all your money gone, Donnie?
Taxes 9, 10, 11. Let me fix my houses.
But it's okay. It's part of the game.
No, it's not. It's not fun.
It's not fun to what?
It's the worst part of the game.
Oh, it's what?
Taxes.
Folks, I don't know how you feel, but I remember that old verse about out of the mouths of babes comes wisdom. Well, there you go. It's just God. Oh, yeah, I paid mine the other day, but God help me. It was Yeah. I hear you. Oh, you're allergic to tequila? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm sure you have other poisons of preference, so I totally get it. Oh, gosh, what to get into in the news? Has anything been going on worth talking about? I mean, WWG1 says Tax Tuesday still doesn't have a good ring to it. I'm going with Tequila Tuesday. I am. But WWG1, we're glad to have you here with us. And I've still got to send out that invitation. I swear I haven't forgot about it. Just life's been nuts for the past few days. So has anything of interest been happening that we ought to talk about? Just thought I'd ask. I mean, does anybody see anything out there that's worth mentioning? The 26 barges hitting the Ohio River. Oh my goodness. Shoot me a link about that. I have not seen that. And 4 of them going over the dam. I have not seen that either. TBA, send me a link. I'd like to see that. Okay. Yeah, that's going on. We're going to get into that. I have heard a rumor. Yeah, that's going on too. I've got to do a review on that one. I've heard a rumor that there might be a trial going on up in New York City as it relates to a former president. Y'all heard about this? Anybody out there? Can I get an amen? Woo now. Yeah, that's definitely been going on. That's been going on. Okay, all right. Okay, TBA, I see it. I'll shoot it over to myself here in a minute. Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So, like I said, I needed a few. I mean, this trial up in New York City related to Donald Trump, I have heard of and seen all kinds of just nonsense over the years. I've seen stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. I've never seen anything quite like this. I really I have never seen anything like this. It just absolutely unbelievable. Which I kind of figured that if this thing if one of these 4 ever actually got to a trial, that it would be bad for Trump. I didn't realize until yesterday how bad it could get. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've never seen a railroad job quite like this. Yeah. Oh, I absolutely agree with you on that. I absolutely agree. There in no, well, yeah, I know. I'm still, well, don't forget young and handsome, TBA. Don't forget I'm young and handsome. He says, "Wait, you're still young, Brian." Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a good point. He has an election to campaign. How that's going to happen, I have no idea. Hang on, guys. I'm just pulling up a couple of things more, and then we'll get into this Trump trial. Because, like I said, I've seen all kinds of ridiculousness before, but I ain't never seen anything like this. Some of these headlines are going to be from yesterday. Some of them are going to be from today, and it is amazing to me watching what's going on. And I've got a theory about this. My theory goes something like this. The more that Juan Marchand, the judge up in New York, keeps doing this to Trump, the more you're going to have people swinging to Trump before this thing is over with. Now, like I said, I could be dead wrong about this. But, okay, I think I've got about everything ready now. All right. I want to comment on that too. I want to comment on that as well, because there's a theory about that I think is worth talking about. But okay, let's get into this. I think I've got most everything pulled up that I can pull up in a hurry to do this. And bless your hearts, y'all have got a life to live, and you don't need to be hanging around with me on the internet all night long. The Donald Trump trial in New York City in the courtroom of Judge Juan Marchand. Like I said, I knew that if one of these babies ever actually got to trial, it would get bad. I just never thought in my wildest dreams how bad this could get. Now, keep in mind there's two planes of reality going on here, that at least two of them that I can see. One is the judicial, and the other is the political. On the judicial front, Donald Trump's getting killed, at least so far. I mean, one of the folks that's near and dear to this channel, and I know if Connecticut were here, she'd be talking about him, Joe Neerman, aka Good Logic, is an attorney himself out of New York City, has a YouTube channel. He's wonderful. He filed a motion to try to get the gag order on Trump stopped. That went right in the toilet. I mean, there's nothing from a judicial standpoint so far that's going well for Trump. Hey, Corey, how you doing, brother? I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, Joe Neerman's absolutely awesome. But yeah, Corey, glad to see you, brother. Glad you're able to join us. From a judicial standpoint, there ain't nothing going right for Trump. But WWG1 brought up a really good point over there on Rumble, and that is you cannot buy this kind of press. And I can concur with that. I really can. There is no way in the world you could get this many cameras focused on Donald Trump except that he be in and around a courtroom. So on a judicial standpoint, ain't nothing going right so far. On a political standpoint, and I hate to say this because it sounds so counterintuitive. From a political standpoint, Donald Trump couldn't get it. It couldn't get any better than this. Well, with one possibility, and this is going to sound just as counterintuitive. The only way it gets better is if Juan Marchand instructs the bailiffs in that New York City courtroom to put Trump in custody, put him in a jail cell, which may yet happen. We'll get into that here in a minute. So let's see if we can catch up day 1 and 2 here, and we'll start with the Gateway Pundit. This is from yesterday. Far-left Judge Marchand rejects Trump demand to recuse himself as jury selection underway for hush money trial. And this is by Christina Layla, one of our favorites from the Gateway Pundit. Far-left Judge Marchand on Monday rejected Trump's demand to recuse himself as jury selection was underway for the Stormy Daniels hush money trial. President Trump recently filed a motion requesting that the judge overseeing the Stormy Daniels hush money case be recused because of his daughter's political work. The judge's daughter, Lauren Marchand, is a far-left political operative who worked for the Biden-Harris campaign. The media has infantilized the 34-year-old Lauren Marchand in an effort to attack Trump's First Amendment protected speech. Lauren Marchand's firm, Authentic Campaigns Incorporated, has received tens of millions of dollars from Democrats who want to take down Trump. According to the New York Post, Lauren Marchand helped Democrats raise $93 million off of her father's case. The judge on Monday rejected Trump's request to recuse himself. As the former president appeared in court, CNN reported Judge Marchand denied the motion for recusal, says he won't consider it again until the appellate court rules. Marchand says it's the opinion of the court that Trump is using, quote, a series of inferences, innuendos, and unsupported speculation to make his claims for recusal. Trump appeared to be looking straight ahead at a screen, biting his bottom lip as the judge rejected the recusal motion. Oh, boy. Over on Rumble, TBA says, Trump plays the martyr really well, doesn't he? Yeah, he does, but I don't think you're being sarcastic with that comment. But in this case, that's exactly what he is. I mean, let's stop and think about this New York case for a second. This thing has so many levels of just ridiculous. It doesn't even, I mean, I know Leanne used the word ridiculous a little bit earlier, but this thing's got so many levels of just, let's just call it what it is, stupid. This thing's got so many levels of stupid to it. It is incredible. Okay, first of all, you have a case involving accounting entries by the Trump Organization about payments made to Trump's then lawyer, Michael Cohen. Cohen goes out and buys a story related to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, a former Playboy playmate. The McDougal case, not nearly so famous. The Stormy Daniels one, yes. Basically, as Daniel Street, the unofficial attorney for the Electronic Front Porch, has said, it was a capture and kill purchase. Capture the story, kill it before it gets out. Okay. Cohen pays an amount of money. The Trump Organization reimburses him and also pays him. Now, all this happens in 2017. Fast forward now 7 years, which, by the way, under New York law, the statute of limitations has already run out on this. Okay? Statute of limitations would have already run out on this under New York law. Along comes Alvin Bragg, who cooks up a charge against Trump that the Federal Election Commission wouldn't take up, the Southern District of New York wouldn't take up, Bragg's predecessor as the Manhattan DA wouldn't take up. None of those three parties would take this up. The charge goes like this. The accounting entries that were made, the supposed errors, well, they weren't errors, don't you know? They were deliberately done to cover up a crime. And it was done for the purposes of influencing the results of an election. There's just one problem with that dastardly description. If this was done for the purpose of influencing an election, keep in mind, the payments were made after the election was over. Now, granted, Cohen paid Stormy Daniels in 2016. I get it. But by the same token, Trump didn't make the payment to Cohen until 2017 after he already assumed the presidency. And it wasn't even Trump that made the payment. It was the Trump Organization. Yes, Donald Trump's the head of it. He's the president. He's the CEO, yada, yada, yada. I get that. But it's not like he's sitting there making the payment and then making the accounting entries, okay? At worst, this is a misdemeanor under New York law. A misdemeanor for which, by the way, the statute of limitations has already run out. But Alvin Bragg, who we lovingly refer to as Alvin the Chipmunk, cooks up this cockamamie theory, charges Trump with it, gets it in front of a judge. Now, that's the first level of stupid, or as M169 here lovingly says, frackery is the word that comes to mind. Yeah, okay, I don't disagree with that. What was the judge's take on the feds not wanting the case? That's a good question, Dave. And I honestly, I don't know. I don't know if that's a point that his lawyers will bring up in their defense, which I would think that they would, because they are making the case in front of a jury. But we'll see. But as far as with the judge, no idea. I have a feeling, to answer that question, to Marshawn, it doesn't make a difference. He's got Trump in a courtroom, and he's going to have him there for weeks on end. Okay. So there's the first level of stupid, is the charge itself. Along comes the next level of stupid, the judge himself. Okay. The judge has donated money to Joe Biden's campaign. Now, it wasn't huge amounts of money, and I freely grant you that. It's like less than $100. I think it's less than $50. That's not the point. He's donated money to Joe Biden's campaign. His daughter is a fundraiser for national Democrats around the country who, if you believe the story out of the New York Post, has raised multi-millions of dollars for Democrat candidates around the country off of this trial, who herself, according to reports, has stuff on her social media of Trump behind bars, imagery of that sort of thing. But according to Judge Marchand, there's only a series of inferences, innuendos, and unsupported speculation about why he ought to recuse himself. It's no wonder Trump's biting his lower lip. So now you got the stupidity of the case, you have the stupidity of the judge, and you have the stupidity of the venue, Manhattan, where according to estimates, upwards of 80+% of voters in Manhattan voted for Joe Biden. It just so happened. And here's the thing. That may or may not necessarily make a difference if Donald Trump were not running for president. But it just so happens that not only are you talking about the former president, you're talking about the Republican candidate who will run against Joe Biden. There ain't no way in the infernal regions of Dante's hell that Donald Trump's going to get a fair trial in Manhattan. But they won't change the venue. Trump's lawyers have tried to do that. They won't change the judge. Judge won't let that happen. And on it goes. So yesterday, this whole thing starts. There's a pool of about 95 jurors so far that have been called in to see if they can get a jury. As it stands right now, they only have 6 jurors. This headline is going to crack you up. Just to give you an idea of how biased this jury is, from Breitbart, the first 6 jurors selected in Trump's hush money trial after questioning of anti-Trump social media posts. Check this out. This is from Christina Wong. More than 50 jurors were turned away on Monday after they said they could not be impartial. This is out of 96 candidates. Okay. Several who were not dismissed on Monday and remained as potential jurors until Tuesday have made social media posts that were negative towards Trump. One potential juror had posted or reposted on social media, Republicans projected to pick up 70 seats in prison. That juror had said that she also lost sleep the night before on whether she could be fair or impartial. She was not one of the 6 jurors selected, thank God. Another potential juror had said just last month on March 27th, posted a parody video, I'm Dumb as Fuck, featuring Trump. That potential juror was also not selected. Another potential juror admits he sells buttons to raise money for a political action committee that supports Get Out the Vote effort for grassroots organizations, but said the PAC did not specify a party. And on and on and on it goes. A charge that makes no sense whatsoever in front of a judge that should never be hearing this case in a venue where he will never get a fair trial. So they opened the trial yesterday, and then among many other things that gets requested, Trump, through his lawyers, made a pretty heartfelt request, and that's this. Your Honor, my son is going to graduate from high school in May. I'm requesting that on the day in question, May 18th, that, the trial be recessed and allow me to go to attend my son's high school graduation. What kind of result did Trump get for that? This is from Business Insider. Trump may miss his son Barron's high school graduation because he'll be on trial over hush money payments to a porn star. Donald Trump may have to miss out on his son Barron's high school graduation ceremony next month due to the timing of the former president's historic criminal trial. As the court prepared for the first day of the voir dire, New York Supreme Court Justice Juan Marchand said he received requests from Trump's attorneys for the former president to skip out on the trial on May 17th so he could attend Barron Trump's high school graduation in Florida. Marchand said that he would not yet rule on Trump's request to not have the trial held that day. Quote, it really depends on if we are on time and where we are on the trial, Marchand explained. Jury selection is expected to last up to 2 weeks. After court adjourned Monday afternoon, Trump complained to reporters, quote, "As you know, my son is graduating from high school, and it looks like the judge will not let me go to the graduation of my son, who has worked very, very hard," Trump told reporters Monday afternoon. He was looking forward for years to that graduation with his mother and father there, and it looks like the judge isn't going to allow me to escape this scam. Okay. I'm going to give an opinion on this because this has got so much into it. Under normal circumstances, I would never advise anybody to defy civil authority. Under normal circumstances, don't get me wrong, there's some situations where I think it's most warranted. But normally I wouldn't, on the grounds that, civil authority is, in my opinion, just my opinion, there by divine providence, for good or bad. Okay. This is going to be one of those moments when I advise someone against what I would normally give them as terms of advice. I don't care what Marshawn rules. That's your son. You go to his high school graduation. If Marshawn has such a problem with it, let him send bailiffs down there and walk you out. Now, am I going to sit here and lie to you and say there's not political motivation in giving that advice? I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I know what the political implications of doing that would be. This isn't about that. This is your son. And if Judge Marshawn rules, no, we're going forward. If you skip, you can't come back into the trial, or at least sit in on it. Fine. TBA over on Rumble says bailiff's going to have a bit of trouble if they try to take Trump by force. That's the other consideration. Not that I want to see there be a conflict, but he is protected by Secret Service. What are you going to do? Clap him in irons and walk him out? Secret Service is never going to allow for that. Secret Service will never allow for that. WWG1 says, I request a ham and cheese sandwich. I hear a ham and cheese sandwich can be indicted, so maybe it will take the rap. Oh. Yeah, now that's true too. Secrets, if he does go into a jail cell, the Secret Service got to be in there with him. That's going to be so ridiculous looking. Which, I mean, it gets me to the thing that just, the contradiction in all this. Not that I'm in the habit of giving advice to Democrats, progressives, or liberals in general when it comes to how to succeed politically. But y'all do realize, you progressives, liberals, and et cetera out there, y'all do realize the more you persecute this man, the more you're bringing people to him politically. Yeah, you're taking him off the campaign trail, but as WWG1 says, you can't buy this kind of advertising. When he walks in the courtroom every morning, Trump's going to make a statement in front of the cameras, and the press will be obliged to carry it. When he leaves the courtroom every day, he's going to make a statement in front of the cameras. The press will be obliged to carry it. I mean, I think WWG1 is absolutely right. You can't buy that kind of advertising. And yeah, TBA over on Rumble, you're right. They are stupid. I mean, I want you to think about the level of, you've heard the expression TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I want you to think about the level of psychosis, if I may use that word. Think about the level of mental illness that you have, that you hate somebody so much, and you are so terrified of the idea of them getting back into office that you're willing to go to these lengths to keep him out of the White House, that you would potentially try to put him in jail. You would try to strip him of everything he owns financially and somehow think that people aren't going to look at this and say, wait a minute, I may not like Donald Trump, but what the hell's going on here, people? This is crazy. Yeah, really, make mental. Yeah, I agree with this. There's some places around Philadelphia, like Kensington, where I think we need to be making mental institutions great again. Have you guys seen the videos coming out of Kensington? Those people are crazy up there. Now, Corey, I absolutely agree with this. I absolutely agree with this. I think this is going to backfire. I was listening to, before getting ready for the live stream, I was listening to some polling results from Rich Barris. It's not polls that he did, but he was doing some analysis. And about a third of people are not even going to, most people are not even going to bother to watch this trial up in New York City because they think the whole thing's full of crap. Yeah, and this is a really good point. The precedents that are being established through all this are, I'll take it past astounding. I'll say frightening. I mean, you're right. Do they not realize what they're setting in motion? Because there may come a day when they don't have power, but they'll have opened the door for so many things to be done to people on their political side of the aisle that if it goes down that way, and I pray it doesn't, but if it goes down that way, man, we're headed for some bad times. Bad times indeed. Now, day 2 of the trial gets started. Here's another headline from Breitbart. Donald Trump says trial is a disgrace. Just look at the polls, by Wendell Husebro. Former President Trump condemned his criminal trial on Tuesday, citing fresh polling that supports his premise, the political nature of the case. About a third of U.S. adults believe Trump did something illegal regarding the case. Only a third. According to the Associated Press Center for Public Affairs Research polling found on Tuesday. Democrat Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg charged Trump with 34 felonies, accusing him of falsifying documents to conceal a sex scandal. The trial is the first criminal trial of a U.S. president. Trump could face jail time if he is convicted. Yeah, I think, notice. 2/3 of the American people do not believe Trump did anything wrong. I mean, I haven't got them all pulled up, but do you know how many legal scholars, not just on the right, but folks who are down the middle and even some people on the left who are like, this case is a crock of crap. It's terrible. I mean, how in the world could you possibly bring anybody up on these charges, let alone Donald Trump? Trump says he's got 200 million Americans supporting him. I don't know about 200 million, but he's got more than a few. More than a few. It is just amazing. And by the way, there's another development that's happened. I don't know if y'all have heard about this. Sometime this morning, Alvin the Chipmunk filed a motion to hold Trump in contempt. It's just amazing to me. Just amazing. Yeah, and you know what? That's a really good question. Hold that thought for a second. I want to see if I can find this real fast. If you're wondering or you have not seen what M169 is referring to? I got to find this real fast. Hang on. Yeah, here it is. Have you guys seen this? Check this out. Dated January 30th, 2018, to whom it may concern, over the past few weeks, I've been asked countless times to comment on reports of an alleged sexual relationship I had with Donald Trump many, many, many years ago. The fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying this affair because I was paid, quote, hush money, as has been reported in overseas owned tabloids. I'm denying this affair because it never happened. I will have no further comment on this matter. Please feel free to check me out on my Instagram at @TheStormyDaniels. Thank you, Stormy Daniels. That's a letter that she wrote back in 2018 saying there was no affair. It's been alleged. It's not true. I didn't have an affair with Donald Trump. Now she's now claiming, well, I wrote that letter under duress. I was being pressured, yada, yada, yada. So that you got that problem. Then you got another problem here. And I just found this one. This was also in 2018. Check this out. This was a letter written to the Federal Elections Commission, Office of Complaints and Examination. Dear Mr. Jordan, I am writing this letter on behalf of my client, Michael Cohen, in response to your letter dated January 30th, 2018. Specifically, this letter responds to the complaint numbered MUR7313, which was filed with the FEC, Common Cause, and Paul S. Ryan. In a private transaction in 2016, before the presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Stephanie Clifford. Neither the Trump Organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. Contrary to the allegations in this complaint, which are entirely speculative, neither Mr. Cohen nor Essential Consultants made any in-kind contributions to Mr. Trump for president or any other presidential campaign. Mr. Cohen has not been a government employee during any of the relevant time period. The payment in question does not constitute a campaign contribution or expenditure, and therefore the FEC lacks jurisdiction over this matter. The complainants have not and cannot present any evidence to the contrary. Accordingly, the complaint should be dismissed. Please contact me at your earliest convenience if you have any questions regarding this letter. Stephen M. Ryan, counsel for Michael Cohen. So Stormy's denying that there was ever an affair. Cohen is saying, hey, I paid him out of personal funds. Now, the Trump Organization reimbursed Cohen. They that part of the letter was probably not accurate. Because, I mean, obviously there's a reimbursement somewhere here. Okay. But this whole thing is crazy. You've got a known convicted perjurer in Michael Cohen. You've got somebody in Stormy Daniels who says one thing 6 years ago is saying something different now. This case is just bizarre. And the Democrats, I'm going to make you a prediction, and I don't think I'm too far afield here, and I got a feeling most people who watch this or in my audience right now would agree with this. The Democrats are going to overplay their hand on this. They cannot help themselves. The smart thing to do if you're a Democrat, and I give Biden credit, Biden is not saying boo one word about this. But most Democrats are not going to be able to help themselves. They're going to keep running their mouth about this and and Marshawn's going to keep squeezing Trump every which way he can. I mean, look, Trump will be found guilty in Manhattan. I don't doubt that in the slightest. There's only one possibility that could upend this whole thing in Manhattan. It's been speculated that Marshawn is going to stretch this thing out as long as he possibly can. If the Supreme Court rules on the question of presidential immunity in, let's say, late May, early June, what does that do to this case? Does this fall under broad presidential immunity? I don't know. Don't know if it would. Don't know if it wouldn't. It might. But yeah, what's going on up in New York City right now is the most insane thing I've ever seen so far. And I'll probably be doing videos and live streams about this as we go along. But this is crazy. This is just crazy. And it will get even worse. And they haven't even got a full jury set up yet. Because primarily they can't find people who are unbiased. And the people they have found so far have got bias written all over them. You know, this is going to be, and I agree with what M169 said earlier. Do these people not realize, when I say these people, do Democrats not realize the precedents that they're setting up with this? You know, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And WWG1, I just saw that comment over on Rumble. Absolutely. Hit the like button. Share the links around, be you on Rumble or on YouTube. You know, it's kind of a subdued night. Like I said, I just got a couple big things to talk about this evening. And we'll get back together this Thursday night at 7:00, and hopefully my life gets a little more under control. So yeah, hit the like button, share it around, leave comments. You know, all you, and I know there's 10 of y'all over on Rumble, you lurkers. God love y'all. Drop some comments. I promise I don't bite unless I'm doing something. Well, never mind what I'm doing. All right. Let's move this to the other topic that seems to be, there's a lot of things in the news. I don't dispute any of that, but there is another topic right now that is absolutely driving the news, and I'm sure y'all have seen that. Oh God, there's another thing we could be getting into. Believe me, if I had this set up. I did not bite you in Orlando. First of all, I wasn't drinking. And second of all, if I were, I definitely didn't bite you. Now, there were some women that I would have loved to. Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Oh, gosh. MAGA Mike is back in the news. And I don't know if y'all have seen this, but I'm sure you have. Folks, I really do believe we're headed for another motion to vacate the chair. I really do. No, definitely not Magic Mike. Absolutely not. No, but I'm still here, still standing, still behind the microphone, still number one, like a rock, baby. Mike Johnson may be on his way to a motion to vacate the chair. Check this out. House dissatisfaction with Johnson explodes over foreign aid insanity that neglects the southern border. Article written by Nick Gilbertson. We have the following. House Republicans' dissatisfaction with Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican Louisiana, is rapidly growing as Representative Scott Perry, Republican Pennsylvania, and Jim Banks, Republican of Indiana, are sharing their frustrations about what Banks called insanity in Johnson's foreign aid framework, which includes over 3 times as much money for Ukraine as it does for Israel, while neglecting the U.S. southern border. Perry took to Twitter on Tuesday to share an image of the framework showing the bill allocates $48 billion to Ukraine, $14 billion to Israel, $2.4 for Red Sea operations, $2.58 for Indo-PACOM, and $3.3 for submarine industrial base. Notice anything missing, Scott Perry says, failed to incorporate any border security into any of the 4 bills he's going to ram down our throats this week. More than a half a dozen occasions in the last 6 months, he promised the American people this would not happen. Oh, boy. Okay, let's get into this. And this is not any kind of indictment against Jim Jordan. I love Jordan. And here's something else we can probably get into. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Mike Johnson has been a massive disappointment. Massive disappointment. And to be honest, I don't even know if he had better numbers in the House, if he'd be any better. I just don't think he's got the stomach for the kind of fight that needs to happen with the Democrats. That said, he's been dealt a horrible hand. You've got a razor thin majority in the House, which is almost evenly divided between America First, MAGA Republicans versus, old school, old bull rhinos. And even if your instincts want to side with the America First crowd, you haven't got the numbers to be able to make that happen. And I'm not saying one side's ever going to totally get all their way on this, okay? You're always going to have a sizable minority of the majority that will temper your enthusiasms. That's probably a good way to put it. So I mean, I'm willing to concede that much, but I just don't think Johnson's got the kind of stomach for the kind of fight that needs to happen here. And what needs to happen is a good old-fashioned, Donnybrook. What's bugging me about all this is you've got so many issues that the American people agree with the Republicans on: border security, funding for Ukraine, or perhaps I should say the lack thereof, border security, Ukraine, crime. I mean, go down the list of issues. And the Republicans just keep frittering away, just throwing away what they could get out of it. I don't get it. I mean, to me, well, I get it. I mean, you got a bunch of people up there that really, say one thing and do another. But my point is this. I think it was Margaret Thatcher that once said that good policy makes for good politics. I have always been of the school of thought that says, look, set up the contrast. Make people see clearly the contrast and then let them choose. I would much rather give and in the presidential election, that's exactly what's going to happen come November. You have a 4-year record of Donald Trump against a 4-year record of Joe Biden, and the American people, boil it all down, they're going to vote on that choice. Now, there's going to be some side issues that kind of try to, get into the middle of that, but that's really what it comes down to. Here's 4 years of Donald Trump. Here's 4 years of Joe Biden. Which do you want? That's what the American people are going to vote on. And the congressional Republicans could set up the same kind of choice, yet they don't do it. In part because Mike Johnson won't take on that fight. You always hear the expression, and I know y'all have. You always hear the expression, what hill do you want to die on? Well, crap. Where Mike Johnson's concerned, I'm not even sure I can find an anthill he wants to die on, let alone anything else. I just don't see it. This man does not have a stomach for a fight. We doesn't have anybody to work with. Okay, I grant you that, but you mean you can't convince some people, hey man, we can win this thing, and I want you to go with me on this. He's not even going to do that. And I agree with this completely. Say what you want to about the old days under Newt Gingrich and Tom DeLay, but I'll tell you this much. Would you see these kind of defections or this kind of nonsense if Tom DeLay were still the majority whip of the House? Heck no. There's a reason they called him the Hammer. He enforced discipline. And when it came to whipping votes, he was a master at it. Yo to you, sir. I do. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's reached the point now that Marjorie Taylor Greene has got some help. Y'all do me a favor. Check this out. This is a tweet. Let me find it here just to make sure. Yeah, here he is. Check this out. MTG's got some help.
There's only one person right now who can stop us from going into what happened last fall, and that's Mike Johnson. He's cleaning the barn. That's obvious.
So you want him to resign? You want him to resign?
Yes. Yeah, I asked him to resign.
What did he say?
He said he would not. And then I said, well, you're the one who's going to put us into this. Because the motion is going to get called, okay? Does anybody doubt that? The motion will get called. And then he's going to lose more votes than Kevin McCarthy. And I have told him this in private, like weeks ago.
Okay. All right. So now you've got Thomas Massie out there saying, yep, I'll back her up on this. Bring the motion to the floor. And what's being talked about right now is that Johnson announces he's going to resign from the speakership. Give them a little bit of time to figure out who should replace him. And the Republicans come to the floor and immediately just put him in. Johnson says he's not going to do that. Okay. Now that sort of begs the question. The last time this happened, the Democrats were more than happy to throw out Kevin McCarthy. Are they going to be so willing to do it this time? Maybe not. And the price tag for their votes to save Speaker Johnson would be something that they've wanted all along. Check this out. I'm going to play this, listen to it, and read the headline, folks.
And of course, just one member. That's all it takes to actually call for a vote seeking the speaker's ouster here. The question is, will Marjorie Taylor Greene does go this route? Will there be enough support to drive him from the speakership? A number of Democrats are indicating that they will vote to save Mike Johnson, especially if he moves ahead on a Ukraine aid package that is similar to the plan that did pass the Senate. So some of the details are still yet to be hashed out here. And of course, just one member.
That might begin to explain why it is Johnson apparently is bringing this up for a vote. But to me, the irony of it is he brings this up for a vote. It'll probably cost him the speakership. It might. It might. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, here's the other issue. Okay. Let's assume you get Mike Johnson out. What do you replace him with? And you know what? Gypsy, I don't think you're wrong. If the Republicans are not careful, they're going to hand us Hakeem Jeffries as speaker, absent a national vote in November. By their own short-sightedness and their own stupidity, the Republicans will be back. The Republicans will have the majority and be in the minority. They'll have the majority and have a Democrat speaker. or some weird thing like it. It would not surprise me in the slightest. It really wouldn't. Just absolutely amazing to me. It really is. You know. Oh, let's see. What else goes on in the news? Oh, by the way, by the by. Did you guys see this stuff yesterday? Check this out. Golden Gate Bridge. Pro-Palestinian protesters stopped traffic for nearly 5 hours. And that wasn't the only sort of place it happened. Brooklyn Bridge. Blocking traffic with one protester reportedly waving a Hezbollah flag. You had alluded to this earlier on Twitter. Not necessarily the Rob Govea discussion, but yeah. Oh boy. Absolutely amazing. Just amazing. Hang on a second, guys. I'm trying to find a couple of funnies here that Gypsy sent me earlier. Cause we need some stuff to laugh at. I'm telling you right now, we gotta have some stuff to laugh at. Hang on a minute. Oh, come on. Where is this? Where is this? I hate it. I hate it when I respond to something and I can't find it. Ah, yes, here it is. Here it is. Now, lest you think that the campaign is not going on out there in the country, yeah, check this out. This was Joe Biden's crowd in Scranton, Pennsylvania today. Let me tell you, the guy can pack a room, can he? Absolutely can pack a room. Let's see. Gypsy also sent me another one. Where is it? Come on. Where are you at? Hey, Gypsy, do me a favor. Yeah, there's no one there. There's no one at that crowd for Joe. I mean, the rebarb. Yeah, and the other thing about that, I want to put that picture back up there for a second. Did you guys notice something? Let me point out something. This room is cut off. That room is actually bigger than what that curtain is hiding the actual size. I'm not trying to be conspiratorial about this, but look at that. They have cut off this room. If you look at how far that ceiling stretches back through there, that room has more capacity. They shortened the size of the room. Yeah, good point. The 81 million people that are there. I don't understand how, I do. The emperor has no clothes. This man is not popular. He never has been popular. He was never popular in 2020. He wasn't popular in 2008. He wasn't popular in 1988. He's never been popular inside the Democrat Party. But everybody is trying to convince you and me that this guy is the living end among Democrats. And I want you to think about this one question. Think about this. Barack Obama, on his best day, got, let me find it here. On his best day, got 69 million votes. So you mean to tell me that a 77-year-old charismatically challenged white guy got 12 million more votes than the first African-American president ever elected in the history of the United States on his best day? Yeah, good point. Thank you. Thanks, Gypsy. I'll pull it up here. A 77-year-old charismatically challenged white guy got 12 million more votes than the first black president ever elected in American history. There ain't no way in the world. I mean, look, lay aside mail-in ballots, lay aside everything else. There ain't no way in the world that Joe Biden has that kind of love for the American people. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I absolutely do remember that. That's funny. Okay, guys, I've got one more thing, and I'm going to call it a short evening because I'm not going to lie, I'm not feeling quite right, and I'm not trying to cop out or making excuses. Just it's true. Gypsy sent me this a little bit earlier. I thought you guys might get a kick out of it. Let me start this back at the very beginning. Okay, this is apparently a protester who stuck their hand in something. And I'm going to play this. Do me a favor. Check this out. I think you guys get a kick out of it.
Ow! I got it. Ow! I got you. Okay, hold on. By the numbers.
All right, let go of your fingers. Let go.
Let go of the rebar.
Let go. Let go.
Ow, they're twisting it.
Let go.
They're twisting it for no reason. Let go of the bar.
Let go of the bar.
Medical.
Let go of the bar. Come on, let go.
Stop.
Let go of the bar.
My hand.
Let go of the bar.
Stop squeezing my hand.
Let go of the bar.
Stop squeezing my hand and twisting it. The rebar is cutting the inside of my hand. Stop prying my fingers. Stop prying. Stop.
Let go of the rebar.
Stop, you're hurting me.
Let go of the rebar.
He's free.
Take him out.
You got the arms? Okay. Yes, set on the bike.
Do you need EMS?
It needs to be seen by a medic.
Before you handcuff this person, medical checks them out.
Sure, can I go stand? Okay.
Requesting medical.
Let's extend the legs.
Handcuff.
Yep, we're gonna
They
have continually prioritize Congress.
Oh, God. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hang on. Sorry about that. No, we are not promoting that particular line of thought. We are not doing that. Jeez. Ah. If we couldn't, yeah. And these days we need to find ways to laugh. Absolutely we do. Guys, like I said, I'm gonna call it a little bit short because I'm I wasn't feeling real good before I came on. Like, I don't know, just kind of weird. And because of the way this evening went, it's kind of a shortened show, and I apologize for that. Work got screwy on me today, and it just really fouled up everything. But we're going to be back for sure Thursday night, 7:00, same time. I promise to do a much better show. I really do. I kind of feel like this one was kind of, yeah. So my apologies to you guys for that. But we'll be back Thursday night, 7:00. And we're going to be doing a front porch brunch this weekend. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Friday or Saturday, but Saturday or Sunday. My apologies. But yeah, we'll be back at it this weekend. And I think I've got an interview. Well, I know I've got it on my calendar. I'm trying to make contact to confirm it's going to happen. There's a fellow content creator by the name of Darius Simpson. He and I have been talking off and on for a little while, and he's scheduled to be on the channel this weekend. So I got to check in with him and make sure he got my email and make sure we're still on. So if that happens, it'll be this Saturday at 3:30. But oh, bless you guys. You guys are awesome. And thank you for putting up with me in this very poor live stream, at least poor by my standards. But we'll be back this Thursday night, 7:00. In the meanwhile, keep an eye out. I've got an idea for a video I want to do because I saw something happen in the news today that I think I want to comment on. So I'm going to do my best to get a video out either tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, God bless you guys. Thank you for being here for just this brief little time. And remember the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall. It is faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money. Guys, thanks for being here. I love all of you, and we will see you later.